All right, we have the Ragin Cajuns that we just talked about. Louisiana Ragin Cajuns, Arkansas State Red Wolves in the next Thursday night matchup, another Sun Belt game. We've got the Cajuns 17-point road favorites, 68 the total in this one. Arkansas State has been a consistent team to bet over the total for me. The question is, do I want to do that here? We're talking 68. We're talking a Ragin Cajuns team that actually does have a pretty good defense. For the most part. And certainly they've played better defensively here in Sun Belt play. I know the Texas game, the one game they lost, they didn't play good defensively, but when they've played, similar level of talent, personnel on the other side, their defense has played well, against especially the last couple of weeks, shutting down South Alabama, shutting down App State in that 41-13 win. So that would be the one concern here with taking another Arkansas State over, even though I've been cashing them left and right, it seems, for the last several weeks. I took it against Coastal. It just got over the total. Took it against Georgia Southern, flew over the total. Tulsa game flew over the total. The Memphis game, I was on the over with Arkansas State, flew over the total. This is just an absolutely abominable defensive football team. That's all there is to say about Arkansas State. Absolutely just atrocious. I mean, I don't think you can get defensive stats much worse. 584 yards per game total, 8.4 yards per play, 8.4 yards per play allowed by this Arkansas State defense. The run defense,
dead last,
268.
right?
Yeah,
I mean, the defense overall is dead last. Yeah, that's what I think. I think it is.
It's got to be. I mean, 268 rushing yards per game allowed, 7 rushing yards per play allowed against a Cajuns team that's more than happy to run the football. They want to be balanced, and they've run for 180 and 4.8 yards per rush this year. And in fact, it's gotten better the last 3 games, their running game, the Cajuns. So they should be able to run them out. It's one of those situations where they should just be able to hand the ball off and get big chunks running the football, because Arkansas State's been giving that up pretty much all season long. And overall, Arkansas State, I mentioned 584, 8.4 yards per play allowed, 584 total yards per game allowed. You compare that to the Cajuns' defensive numbers, 374 and 5.5 yards per play. So we're talking nearly 3 yards per play better, on the defensive side of the football for the Cajuns coming into this game against Arkansas State. So the number's gone up, minus 15.5 to minus 17. But look, we saw just now Arkansas State, big home underdogs with a road favorite, and Coastal laying close to this kind of number, and Coastal just tore them apart 52-20. I can't, even with all these points being offered, I can't get there with this Arkansas State team. I just can't. I don't know if I'll lay 17. It's probably a game I'll lay off, but I just can't get there with Arkansas State because we saw Coastal, road favorites, a little bit more than this, but 52-20. And we saw the Cajuns, play their best game of the year, I thought, last week, taking apart App State. So I'd be fretting if I were to take. I can't even take this many points with a defense that I just don't trust to get stops, and that's where the Red Wolves are right now. What do you think here, C-Mac? Cajuns, Red Wolves.
Yeah, Louisiana Lafayette looks good. Their defense, and you know what I think? Even week 1, you talked about them giving up 38 to Texas. That's a pretty good team, and it was week 1. I mean, Texas scores about that every game.
And Sark has all off season to get ready and game plan on offense too.
Yeah, exactly. I'd like to see if they played again. If they get 38. One thing is the number's huge here. Arkansas State, what do you get? And you thought maybe at home. I heard some people last week against Coastal that they could maybe cover. It is a big home game. And they're at home here. They're a strange team. Early, they lost by 5 to Memphis. Tulsa lost by 7. Those are their covers. Can they do that again? Can their defense make a stop or two? I don't think so. To me, this is a stay away. It's Lafayette or stay away, like you said. It's either, I think you lay it with them or you just stay way, way away. And I don't know about the over. Does Lafayette want to play those junk kind of touchdowns? That's what got Arkansas State kind of, they backed off Coastal. Boom, they scored 3 touchdowns. They ramped it up and scored 1 or 2 at the end. There's the ball game. It gets over barely. Or some people it didn't because it went up so high.
Yeah, it is. That's an excellent point, because that game last week, it depends on when you bet the total in terms of whether it got over for you. So keep that in mind. It was close. There's no question about that. So it's definitely something that you want to be aware of going into this game as far as the total goes. By the way, James Blackman is already confirmed out, ruled out. He's got the shoulder injury. He left the game against Coastal last week, and there's no time frame for his return, which means you're going to see Lane Hatcher, who's been here now for a couple of years. Butch Jones, inherited him as the quarterback when he got here. So it's going to be Lane Hatcher at quarterback. No Blackman available here for Arkansas State at quarterback in this one.